The latest version of the NordicTrack 2450 is here. It was just released a few weeks ago. It might not look like it, but a lot of things have changed. Is this the same 2450 that's been on the top of our recommendations for years? Is it better? Let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Sydney at TRG, where we test and review all kinds of treadmills and fitness equipment. Before I dive into the review of the 2450, make sure to like and subscribe. We have a lot of new reviews coming. Also, we are affiliates. NordicTrack sent us the 2450 to test, but this doesn't influence our opinions in this review or of this treadmill. It is with our affiliate links, which we have one down in the description below. This is where we earn commissions. This is at no extra cost to you, but purchasing through there helps us out so we can keep making reviews for you. You can also use the link to check the current price of the 2450. This is a premium treadmill and it's priced as such. At the time of filming this, it is $3 grand. All right, it might not look like it, but the NordicTrack 2450 has gone through a lot of changes that I'm going to go through. But let's start with the dimensions. It's 77.3 inches long, 37 inches wide, and 63.4 inches tall. This is a treadmill that's made to handle a lot of running, so we don't expect it to be lightweight or small, and it isn't. It weighs 332 pounds when it's delivered in the box. So it's a good idea to have at least 2 people for setup. It can be moved when needed, but it's best to keep it where you plan on using it or at least nearby. You can tip it back when it's folded to move it, and I can move it myself, but I don't like having to move it often. That's why I recommend keeping it near where you're going to use it. It's pretty easy to fold. The folding deck definitely saves a lot of space. You lift up the back of the deck and then you push it up to lock it into place. This isn't the lightest deck. I have to squat down to lift it, so keep this in mind. It's important to know your limitations when folding and moving a treadmill of this size. The frame is made out of steel. This is pretty standard for folding treadmills. The steel frame supports the base and supports the front part of the deck on the floor, and then 2 steel uprights extend up to hold the console in place. And when I'm running, this thing is solid and the screen does not move. Even my 40-ounce water bottle stays in place, but I'm gonna get into all the features on the console and the touchscreen with iFIT in a moment. The handles are all well within reach, and I really like to have the front horizontal handle here to hold onto, and the side handles are also within good reach for me and for our other team members. It also handles most people with its 400-pound weight limit. This is the highest weight limit we see on motorized treadmills. I think one of the most exciting updates to the construction though is the motor. So this is a 4.25 continuous horsepower motor. This is the largest we see for DC motors. So DC are in home treadmills, whereas AC motors are typically more powerful and are in commercial treadmills that are built for all-day use to support like all-day foot traffic that gyms get. The 2450 is going to handle a lot of use. So think marathon training. If you have multiple runners in your household, it can handle it. And a really cool feature that now sets the 2450 apart from other home treadmills is its 14 mile/hour max speed. Most home treadmills go up to 12 miles per hour. So 14 miles per hour is a 4-minute, 17-second mile running pace. So this might not be a sprint for everyone, but it is fast for a lot of people, and this is the fastest pace so far that we've seen on a folding treadmill. The 2450 also inclines and declines. It has a 12% incline and a -3% decline. Overall, it's quiet, especially the incline and decline. In our sound test, its decibels were around the equivalent of a microwave or a dishwasher, maybe even your washing machine. It sounds about like that. It might not be a treadmill that you put in your apartment, because most apartments, at least ones that I've lived in, don't allow for treadmills anyways, but for most homes, this one's gonna be appropriate, and it's a little bit quieter than the previous version. It's not the quietest treadmill we've tested. Soul and Horizon are just a little bit quieter, but in our testing, this difference is really only a few decibels. Plus, it's motorized and your feet are going to make noise on the deck when you're running, so just keep that in mind. I'll hop on it in a few so you can hear it for yourself. Another update to the motor is that the 2450 is very responsive. For our motor responsiveness test, we time how long it takes a treadmill to go from 1 miles per hour up to 12 miles per hour. And we did it for 12 miles per hour and its 14 mile per hour max. And with both, it blew all of the other treadmills that we've done this test on out of the water. Horizon and the Peloton Tread are the fastest that we have tested, but the 2450 is currently now faster than all Horizon treadmills and the Peloton Tread. It adjusts about 6 seconds faster than those treadmills, so it adjusts very quickly. It's to the point that when I'm doing interval training, I don't even have to think about waiting for the motor to adjust. And if I'm getting tired at like 8 miles per hour and I want to go down to a walk, when I press the button, it feels like it's adjusting right as I'm pressing the button, so it's really awesome. And to go perfectly with the motor, the deck is 60 inches long and 22 inches wide, so this is the largest deck that we see on folding treadmills. It's great for all running strides, and really anything that you want to do on it, this deck handles it. The step-up height is now 10 inches, so just 1 inch higher from the previous deck, not much of a difference here. My favorite aspect of the deck is the cushioning. NordicTrack has the softest cushion treadmills that we've tested, so the cushioning is the amount of give in the deck when your feet land on it. It provides shock absorption to help lessen the impact that comes with running on your joints, so shock absorption is something that you don't get when running like outside on concrete. And the 2450 is really comfortable. Usually when I run, I get some sort of discomfort, especially around my ankles, and I just don't get that when I run on a NordicTrack. So really for runners, if you're training for a race and you want something softer to do some recovery miles on, NordicTracks are great treadmills for that. Or if you have sensitive joints, this one is going to be a really great option. The 2450 and the 1750 have my favorite cushioning, especially in folding treadmills. If you prefer running on a treadmill that feels firm, sole treadmills are the ones to go with. We recommend those if you want something a little bit more comparable to running out on the road. But the 2450 is one of the treadmills that I pick to run on out of all the ones that we have because it's comfortable and that's what I prefer. NordicTrack now includes a lifetime warranty with the motor, which we're really excited about. They also include a standard 10-year frame, 2-year parts, and 1-year labor warranty, so we'd love to see it. Now let's get into iFIT because there's been a lot of changes there too. So anytime a treadmill has a touch screen, the content on the screen is usually a big part of the treadmill. And that is true for this one. Most of the 2450's functionality is built into the touchscreen. This is a 24-inch touchscreen. It tilts and pivots side to side so you can use it on and off the treadmill for training with iFIT. And iFIT is the subscription training service on NordicTrack equipment. It's $39 per month. And we get asked a lot if you can use the 2450 without iFIT. And you can, but without a subscription, you're really limited with what you can do on the touchscreen. If you don't connect the treadmill to Wi-Fi, you can just use manual mode. And this will track your metrics. And then you can create a free iFIT account to access the general onboard workout programs. And there's also a few featured iFIT workouts. But with everything that iFIT comes with, it's really half the experience of the 2450. And when we've used the 2450 without iFIT, it's a little hard to get into the free workouts since you have to use a free account. So I'm just gonna say if you don't like trainer-led workout content or you don't wanna pay for a training subscription, I would check out Sole or Horizon treadmills. But if you want training content or if you're looking for an alternative to Peloton, iFIT is pretty cool and it has some nice updates that I'm going to go over in a moment. But just by looking at the console, there's limited buttons, which means less functionality on the console and more on the touchscreen. So there aren't numbered quick adjusting buttons physically on the console. Instead, they're on the screen in iFIT workouts in manual mode. And they're fine to use, but I have a little bit of trouble scrolling down to the lower speeds when I'm running. There are speed and incline buttons on the console that adjust the speed by 1/10 and the incline by 0.5%. And you can hold these to adjust the speed and incline more quickly, but I like jumping around with the speed and incline, so I use the buttons on the screen a lot. I wish there were maybe like roller dials like on Horizon treadmills or the Peloton Tread, or even the switch buttons that are on Sole, that Sole has down on the front handles. Just something either on the front handles or side handles would just make the treadmill to be able to adjust it a little bit easier. There also isn't a device rack to put your phone or tablet. The idea is to use this big touchscreen, so the console has been built around that. And the fan is nice, it's effective, and then the speakers are really nice. I can crank the volume on them pretty loud, which is fun with iFIT's new features. And these cup holders are pretty standard, but like I said, my 40-ounce Hydro Jug doesn't move when I run. All right, let's get into iFIT. I'm going to try to get through all of the updates and features, but I have a full written review at treadmillreviewguru.com that talks about everything, so head there if you want to know all the things that I might have missed. Now, iFIT has treadmill, exercise bike, elliptical, and rower workouts, and also mat workouts like yoga, guided meditations, and strength training. There are over 17,000 on-demand workouts. Some of them are filmed inside. These follow a studio workout format, so an instructor guides you through the workout and the camera points at them. These are nice, but iFIT sets itself apart with its outdoor workouts. These are filmed in areas all over the world, literally on every continent. These workouts feature a camera that follows an instructor like up mountains and through cities, really all over. There's even real life events that are filmed, so like the Boston Marathon, so you can go through and do the Boston Marathon's course on the 2450. And as you're going, the 2450 automatically adjusts to match the terrain of the location and the format of the workout. And it adjusts the speed too based on the instructor's cues. And the Smart Adjust feature is nice because it takes into account your effort in previous workouts to suggest speeds. And then Active Pulse is another feature that will adjust the 2450 based on your heart rate to keep you within specific heart rate training zones. So if you want to do the popular Zone 2 training, it's really easy on the 2450. And you can use NordicTrack's heart rate armband that's sold separately, or a compatible tracker like a Garmin watch. Some of our team has Garmin, so they can use this feature. I can't with my Apple Watch. I can't connect it to any fitness equipment really, but maybe one day Apple will be better about this. But Active Pulse on the 2450 is cool with that compatible tracker. And then you can also create your own workouts in iFIT. You can do interval training by customizing the intervals, or you can set different target goals for your distance, time, and calories. These are pretty standard, but this is an update to iFIT that we appreciate. One thing that I'm super excited about is the streaming apps. So when you subscribe to iFIT, you can access Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Spotify. You just have to log into your account for each of these apps. I think other apps might be coming, but Spotify and Netflix are really awesome to have. I can watch shows while running. I really want to make Netflix and run a thing. It's a thing on other treadmills like Sole and Peloton when you pay for Peloton subscription. I know it might be frustrating to some people who don't want to pay for iFIT, but they want to stream from other apps. But this is a package deal on the 2450, so just keep that in mind. I actually really like the integration with the apps in iFIT. I can put on one of iFIT's workouts, and then I can mute the instructor, and I can watch Netflix, and the 2450 will still adjust to keep up with the iFIT workout. If you plan on doing this, I recommend keeping the charts of the speed and incline up at the bottom so you know what's coming when the treadmill adjusts, because that motor adjusts quickly, so I found that I liked having the charts up so I wasn't surprised by any of the changes. Now, one of my gripes I've had with iFIT in the past is the music. iFIT has a feed.fm feature that it's kind of like listening to the radio in the background of the workouts. These consist of pre-list playlists of songs that are split into different genres. iFIT still has this, but now I can log into my Spotify account and listen to whatever I want while taking an iFIT workout. It really feels game-changing with iFIT. Since I can't connect my phone to stream content through the speakers, having Spotify is a really nice trade-off. And one thing that we did notice is that the screen has some glare. It isn't excessive, but with overhead lighting, I can see my face on the screen while I'm running a little bit more than I'd like to. If you have overhead lighting or maybe a lot of windows where you're going to use the 2450, just keep this in mind. You can tilt the screen to help it, but We think that the screen glare is more apparent because iFIT is currently only in dark mode. It used to have light and dark mode, and maybe they'll add light mode back to help with this, but I like dark mode, but in certain lighting, I think light mode would actually help prevent this. And finally, to keep up with the times, iFIT is beta testing a coach AI feature that they say is coming. This lets you text with an AI coach for workout scheduling and different motivations. And the AI feature will recommend iFIT workouts based on your training goals that you tell it. So once this feature is available, I'll update the review at treadmillreviewguru.com to let you know what we think of it. But overall, I'm really excited about all of these updates. iFIT is one of my favorite training subscriptions, so it's nice to see features added, like the streaming apps especially. All right, now I'm gonna let you see and hear how the 2450 performs. I'm gonna walk at 3 miles per hour, run at 6 miles per hour, and then 9 miles per hour. Then I'll incline it. So let's start with 3 miles per hour. It's a casual walking pace. Here's 6 miles per hour. And here's 9 miles per hour. All right, so here's that -3 decline. Now let's go all the way up to the 12% incline. So overall, the adjustments are quick, smooth, and the 2450 is pretty quiet. Now Matt's gonna hop on the 2450. He's 6'5". Here he is at 3 miles per hour. 6 miles per hour. Nine miles per hour. $14 miles per hour. Thanks for watching my review of the NordicTrack 2450. You guys, I have to say I'm impressed and excited about all of these upgrades. The 2450 has been one of our top recommended treadmills for years, and now it's leading the pack in some of our testing, which further justifies it being one of the best. I think its highlights are the comfortable deck cushioning, the very powerful and very quick to adjust motor that now goes up to 14 miles per hour. It also folds up and handles a lot of use like marathon and half marathon training and households with multiple users. And like I said, iFIT is a big part of this treadmill. With everything iFIT has to offer, there are thousands of trainer-led workout classes, and the outdoor classes are what really stand out. You can create your own workouts without an instructor, and there's streaming apps like Netflix and Spotify that you can access on the touchscreen when you subscribe to iFIT. And you can use the 2450 without a subscription to iFIT, but without it, you're missing out on a lot of the features on the screen. Smart Adjust and Active Pulse are tailored to adjust the 2450 automatically in iFIT. And Smart Adjust is one of my favorite features with iFIT. The lack of buttons on the console really make you use the screen even more. I think some maybe roller or switch buttons on the handles would be helpful, but with how adjustable the 24-inch touchscreen is, it's easy to use. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to head over to treadmillreviewguru.com. I have a full written review of the 2450 with even more details in case I missed anything in this video. And to check the current price of the 2450, click the link below in the description. This is our affiliate link, and purchasing through there helps us out so we can keep making reviews. And as always, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like and subscribe. We have a lot of new reviews coming. I'm Sydney at TRG. I'll see you next time.